everyone. We are
live. Yo, welcome back for our AMLoB Podcast, first one of Mad 19. We're getting it's been a bit of a crazy day. A lot of trades, a lot of movement already.
Yep, that sums it up.
And
yeah. I guess we should.
Yeah, but of course today we got power rankings. We have probably some predictions. Crips is going to leave us at some point here in the near future.
What's up, guys?
After making my probably not very anticipated return after being on like a 1 month hiatus from the pod.
Yeah, so
I'll be leaving in like 25 minutes. So Corey, you want to sort the doc real quick since you're here?
Yeah, I need to go back upstairs and do it. Let me cut my last few guys that I need to.
I'm gonna throw myself on and off of mute while I snack on these Nutter Butters.
Okay.
Did you guys vote on my where to fullback trade or position change?
Oh my goodness!
I said to drop a yes for me, but I don't know if you did.
I don't think.
Wow, this is a great start to the pod, guys. Let me go ahead and pull up. I guess let's go ahead and get started. First is Josh with his Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh,
I'll say that in as weird of an accent as I can.
Are we live?
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Oh.
Corey.
Look at you. All right, let me get it sorted. 1 second.
All right. Well, yeah, we got.
While Corey is doing that, hey guys, let's make it a great year. A lot of rule changes. A lot of people complaining about those rule changes, but as always, things will probably die down as people get used to it. So yeah,
definitely.
So yeah, man, we're happy to be back. Everybody's for the most part, people's Madden battery is refreshed, and yeah, we're ready to get it going. So,
what did I miss? Who was number
nothing?
Oh, okay,
nothing. So, but yeah, so gonna get it going. Waiting on Corey to sort the power rankings real quick.
Waiting on the sorting. Are we in week 1 yet? No, we're not. Oh, well, welcome to this podcast.
Yeah, this is definitely our most riveting start we've ever had to a pod.
All right, it's sorted.
All right,
good to go.
All right, let's see. Was I right?
Yeah,
I was right. Josh is 1. All right, so Josh at 1. The Jags are the best base team in the game. All right, so number 2 we have sports with you. Okay. No, but Josh is I think that's a great combination of a great user with a great team, and obviously we're not only basing this off of last year. There's a degree of projecting for this year as well, and I think deservedly Josh is a good enough user to take that. I think he is probably the early favorite for the AFC. So, or at least in my opinion, he probably is. So, yeah.
I mean, with Josh, that team is, of course, he has his favorite squad. That team is loaded, man. Like, especially on defense. There's so many pieces, and not only is there so many pieces, there are so many young guys that you can basically take that defense through the CFM. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does with his quarterback situation, because I don't think I've ever seen Blake Bortles stay on a Jaguars team for an entire CFM. So that'll be the interesting thing, in my opinion, as to what he does. But I mean, yeah, if there's an early favorite for the AFC, I would probably say it would. I would definitely say it would be Josh.
What was that you cut out for me?
You said what?
You cut out like the last 30 seconds left for me.
Oh no, I was saying Josh is the early favorite for the AFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, his user skill is one just thing to look at, and then we have already talked about. You add that that team, which is his favorite team, of course. So you're always going to build them right, and then just having Ramsey and Boye and Miles Jack and Telvin Smith, and then that D line. I mean, there's really nothing to not look at on that defense. So I mean, it's pretty disgusting coming into this year, especially a year one just base kind of roster thing.
Are we ready to advance?
Yes.
All right. Yes, I am moving
the
it to week
official
1.
league start.
Live on the pod.
Yep.
Cripps is muted.
Well, you had to take. I literally was about to start saying live on the pod, and then you said it, and I realized, wait, I'm muted.
Well, too bad you're muted, bud.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm eating my Nutter Butters. Okay, I'm trying to
Nutter
save the
Butters
people.
are so good.
I know they are like.
Yeah, Nutter Butters should sponsor us for giving you a shout out on the show.
Exactly. number one Madden CFM podcast in the
I'm just gonna send 10
in
years,
Finland.
okay, guys?
In Finland.
I'm gonna send 10 years.
Are injuries back on?
I didn't turn them back on.
I got it. That's fine.
All right, appreciate it.
Number one.
Yeah.
Or no, how about Germany? We probably are. If we have lights listening, we probably are the number one Madden podcast in Germany.
Wow. Okay.
We'll always use that as a statistic until someone can prove us wrong. We're the most popular Madden CFM podcast in Germany.
Ooh, Steve Tabor has a skill point to spend.
So I guess on that note, we have sports at 2.
Yeah, I mean that Eagles team is something ridiculous. Like it
I'm personally not really a fan of it, but they are deep.
I was going to say that team has all types of pieces on it.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily cater to what I like to do, but they are the best team in the game for a reason. So it's hard to overlook everything that team offers.
Yeah, I think sports kind of proved himself the short time he was with us, and especially with that roster, I feel like it's worthy of a number 2 spot.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue for sure. I can only remember losing to him in the playoffs, and that AFC Championship game when he lost half of his team to injuries, and I still lost.
Nice.
I get rattled by that. I get rattled by that still.
Is it worse than the concede versus Pook?
As the last season.
Whenever you were down like whatever to nothing at half and you conceded versus Pook.
Oh, that one. Yeah, because I thought that was my best chance at the Super Bowl. So
gotcha. Fair enough.
So all right. So after that solid therapeutic session.
Oh God, the Lions are 79 overall. Nice.
I guess
I am too. Trust me.
I guess that kind of segues nicely because I am at 4 or 3. So
yeah. Well, I mean the Saints. That team has a lot of really good young pieces on it too. I mean, even though you're in a tough division.
LJ over here trying to boost himself.
Even though you're in a tough division, I rank myself like 14, while everybody else put me in the top 10.
I'm giving you a hard time. Yeah, you are harder on yourself than anyone.
But yeah. Anyways, just with that Saints team, there's a lot of good young pieces on both sides of the ball. Of course, the quarterback situation will have to be addressed with Drew Brees probably retiring after season 1 or season 2. But
it's usually been season 2 from what I've seen. But I'm also kind of
I've always seen season 1. I've ran all the CFMs I've ran has been season 1. So, but yeah. So I mean, it's just that Saints team. They got lots of talent on it. Of course, Cripps is a established user in this league. So I can definitely see. I can definitely see him taking that team and doing great things with it. So.
Yeah, there. Sorry,
Yeah, Cripps is worthy of that spot, I guess. That Saints roster is nice. He is a Saints fan. So same thing with Josh. He'll probably do the best as he can do to build them. He's a good user.
Boosted by the roster, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that much. I mean, you are a talented user. But yeah, I mean, we'll go with the boosted by roster route. I do like that.
I knew you'd like the sound of that.
I do think you're worthy. I mean, I can see you anywhere between like 3 and 5. I think 3 is fine.
Anything, Corey? No.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cripps, I believe, has like the most division wins across both 17 and 18, and he's coming into a really good team. And it's just, as a projection, it's safe to say that he's going to be a top user.
Yeah.
Especially year 1 when Breeze is one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah. Completely agree with that.
I just have to figure out what I'm going to do after Drew.
Just sign Gifford gratis, man.
Hey, I kept JT Barrett on my roster for a reason. I don't know if I'll do anything with him, but I kept him on my roster for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, you got JT Barrett. I mean, you can try something with JT. I just think it'll be especially coming from playing with Drew, that'll be a very big shift.
Oh, what are you talking about? Drew Brees is going to have like 300 rushing yards this year. You can book that.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, 300's a bit excessive, but he probably will end up with like 150.
All right.
He will have at least one 20-yard carry, and he will have at least 150 rushing yards. He will be top 10 for quarterback rushing yards. That's my bold prediction for Drew Brees for year 1 of Madden 19.
Nice.
Okay. So let's get to number 4. Who do we have at 4?
4 is Lights with the Chargers.
Okay.
Another stacked roster and another good user. Seems to be a trend.
Yeah, I mean I was gonna say that roster right there is
I think that's the best secondary in the league right now, especially Madden where everyone's healthy.
Yeah, I mean you got 3. You're 3 deep at corner.
Well, you're 4 deep at corner.
Yeah, and all of them are young guys, so it's kind of like like what more can you really ask for type of deal.
You're 4 deep at corner, 2 deep at safety, with the best pass rush tandem in the league.
Yeah, so I mean it's.
Yeah, that roster is just insane. I think Lights as a user to handle it is.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Snippy, Lights, Corey, and Crown.
I mean, it looks like Crown might have realized the rest of the guys in his division and just kind of dipped.
Nah, Crown joined. He did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
I had to join on my farm to cut the guys that Crown CPU'd.
Well, I mean, he didn't join to the regular season.
Oh, okay. He is in here now. I see that. That's loading very weird, but I see that. Okay. Never mind. Okay, I take it back. Crown is not dipping. I take it back for now. Temporarily. All right.
It's already the shots have started from the young Crips.
Already.
I know if I'd even call that a shot. I guess I'm rusty over here. I'm warming up still.
That's the. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was good. I was about to move on. So
No, just go ahead and move on.
Okay.
You
Shut
got
up, why
another
don't
one.
you? All right. We have Pook at 5. As we always have to notoriously rank him low to start the year because we can never trust his ability to finish in the playoffs.
Damn.
And I will be able to use
wow.
that. I will be able to
That's
use
not really
that
why I
one.
ranked him that low, but okay.
It's scary
Well, I
to
know.
say that. A little
That's not-
harsh.
That's not why I rank him that low either. It's just something I'll always be able to use against him until he stops busting in the divisional round.
Oh,
Man.
Oh.
There wasn't shots, but then there was shots.
Jesus.
So now Pook deserves that spot, and I think you could very easily argue he deserves to be higher on that list. Vicious actually had him at 2, so I think Vicious may be seeing something that none of the rest of us see.
Not that I don't
Well,
see it.
I mean,
think
we're
he
talking
needs
about-
to
I
use
know.
his skill
It's-
and roster.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's got the worst roster out of the top 5 teams by far.
Right.
And the fact that he's up there ahead of some other guys is, I think, still really impressive.
Right.
And, I think we all expect him to be a perennial top 5 user, probably top 3. So,
Yeah.
My opponent's having trouble joining my invite.
I'm going to turn my AC off. All right. Anyone else have anything else to say on Pook? He's probably going to get mad we didn't talk about him enough, but...
No, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's his user ability. The team is pretty raw season 1, but there's a lot of potential on it.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to count him out of it. Like Roger coming into the division is a big thing, but in my opinion, it's still his division to win.
Yep. Yeah, with Roger. In my opinion, though, I'm debating to say what I'm thinking, but
you just let it fly. Like
I don't really see a scenario in which Pook loses more than like 1 or 2 division games every 3 years.
I don't know. I think Dicey could give him a run for his money.
I think Dicey could give him a run for his money a couple times. Roger maybe once or twice over the course of the 8 or 9 seasons. But the way Roger builds his teams does not typically bode well to play a guy like Pook twice a year. And Dicey kind of does the same thing. And so even though both of them are above average users, it doesn't necessarily bode well for winning division games against a guy like Pook, who is just going to keep stacking and stacking and stacking his team while they're both going to want to kind of create more roster turnover because that's how they enjoy it. So I'm not really necessarily that's why I was debating phrasing how to phrase it, because it's not like I'm saying they are inherently not going to perform well against him because of their ability as a user. It's because of the way they build their rosters comparatively to his. Because he'll get that Browns roster to a 90 overall within 2 or 3 years. They will both probably kind of stay stagnant in that 85 to high 88 range for the next 3-4 years. So,
I mean, that's a fair assessment.
That was probably the least bashing, most insightful assessment I've had in all my times in the pod. But I think that just that in general kind of bodes well for, because the one thing that Crown was never on really that same level of tier. I think he was still kind of a level tier below them. He didn't blow his roster up a lot. And so you saw him be able to slowly compete a little more, although it was all kind of relative. But he was able to slowly, because he built that roster up, he was able to compete a little better over time. And so I think that that's something that the two of them are maybe going to have to consider adjusting a little bit, because it will.
Slowly Twitch app works on an Xbox when you're trying to start a stream.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. To me, that division is really interesting to see exactly how they'll turn out.
It is. I'm excited to see that one. We have Corey at number 6, and I'm going to try and speed through a couple of these because I at least want to get to Actually, LJ is top 10 too, I think. So I want to get to all y'all. Corey at 6. We kind of touched on that division already, but I think there's a lot of promise there, and that's a division I could see routinely sending 3 teams to the playoffs.
Which division?
The Corey's, the West.
Oh, yeah.
That's a division
definitely.
I could see routinely sending 3, especially with the fact that I think that's easily the strongest division in the AFC, unless I'm missing somebody.
I mean, don't forget about the AFC South though, with Josh, Levi, and Splooge, and now
That's
Riz.
true. That's true. The South. Okay, no, I take that back. The South is probably the most stacked division in terms of user ability, but the AFC is no slouch because you still have Vicious in the East, and you still have
AFC's deep.
AFC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's more to the league in general than anything else.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I do think the AFC's a little more deep than the NFC, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it kind of, as much as we were all joking how the NFC was becoming a powerhouse, it ended up kind of working out the other way around.
Right.
The AFC is, both divisions are pretty stacked. Like outside of, I think both have you've got the NFC South and the AFC South both have, I think, 4 comparable users. And then the NFC North and the AFC West both have, I think, at least 3 with the potential for a 4th. And then you have, I mean, it's actually pretty evenly split the way it all worked out, which is nice.
Jesus Christ.
I tried to turn off the fucking, the coach adjustment shit to where it doesn't know where to fucking go.
Yeah. And, I think Corey, has I would say, I don't necessarily say I wouldn't necessarily say he has a year 1 leg up because Mahomes is usually pretty rusty year 1 and Light's roster is so nice. But I think that Corey is a good bet to probably land one of those wild card spots or at least compete for one. So I think this ranking, at least for me personally, was more on the user year 1 than it was on the team. Because I think if anyone could overcome the kind of shoddy QB play, it would be what Corey's able to do with that defense. But he's one of the best defensive users in the league, and so I think he can overcome it. So
yeah, I mean it's the Chiefs are really interesting too. Like you said, I think that's more user based than what you would get for as far as a
like CPU, like just the CPU controlling the train.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it would be a little bit more of a difficult deal for anybody else, but with Corey, I think he can. That manage
offense
that pretty
is good,
well.
but I think he can lift up the defense to where it's at least competent. So, I can probably hit 1 or 2 more, and then I got a dip. But
okay,
you got Austin with the Bears at 7. And that's a if one of y'all, actually Corey could probably pull it up after, but yeah, we have Austin at 7, which I think is he's a guy that I think is going to come back and challenge Emmons year 1 for that title. And actually, now that I think about it, the NFC North did get a little weaker with the loss of Dicey, but you still have.
It's likely going to be Austin and
I think it'll be
Emmons.
Austin and Emmons most years, and I think it's tough. My personal bias wants to say that Emmons has it, and I think Emmons can definitely compete for it because he's a good enough user too. But which is reflected by the fact that he's the next ranked team. But I think Austin's a very good user as well, and that Vikings team is loaded, especially on defense. And but now they have the only thing they don't have on that team is an offensive line, which is, kind of an important thing to have in football. But they can, I think Austin can kind of scheme around that as he did early on in Madden 18 as well. Or, wait, I'm referring to Austin as the Vikings still. Dear God.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely the Bears now. But I mean, that team still, regardless of how you want to look at it, has quite a few really good pieces on it. I mean, especially young guys, like that's the big thing, especially in like the CFM, is
It's a good developmental team.
having really good young guys.
Yeah, got a great running back tandem. I think you got a lot of promise at receiver, even though maybe not a ton of stuff nailed down. So no, I like where that roster's at, and I think actually now that I say that, it's more of a toss up for me, and I think that year one, just on the fact that Stafford is a much more established QB and much better statistically ratings wise, I could see Emmons taking the division year one because both guys are probably pretty even in terms of defensive scheming ability to scheme up guys.
Yeah.
So I think that could give Emmons the edge year one, but I think it's going to be close. And then on that note, my last guy I will do is our only resident Wumbo here tonight, despite the fact the other two said they would show up.
Shot. Everybody.
In Connor's defense, he did not get an invite. So.
Yeah, I know.
But Bitches said he'd be here and he's nowhere to be found. So.
Yeah.
As for Emmons, though, and I'm saying this as I'm getting ready to head out, but as for Emmons, no, I think he definitely deserves that ranking. That roster definitely has some holes, but he can definitely overcome it. And I think they've probably got, in my opinion, one of the most underrated offensive lines in football and in Madden. Granted, Taylor Decker didn't get a bunch of love, but Rick Wagner got overly loved. So
salty about Taylor Decker.
No, I think he can overcome. I think both of them end up making the playoffs, but I will give the edge to Emmons year one. But
yeah,
I think that I don't know. Which it's funny saying I'll give him the edge, but I ranked. I think I can't remember if I put one above who I put above the other, but no, I did. Okay, I put Emmons one spot above Austin, so that actually works out. Okay.
So I signed Delvin Breaux, and he already has an ACL sprain.
Welcome to Delvin Breaux's career. As a Saints fan, welcome to Delvin Breaux's career. All right. With that, I will head out. Your last two teams are Chan of the West and LJ. You round out the top 10, actually. So, y'all boys enjoy the rest of the pod. Happy to make an appearance today, and I will talk to everybody later.
All right. I mean, so Chan is up next, correct?
Yeah, and so like my thoughts on Chan, because I can't remember where I rated him, but I recall it being fairly high. He kind of showed that he could elevate a pretty old garbage team that final season of 18.
Yeah.
I think he led the league in interceptions with Dayon, who was like 81 speed at the time.
Yeah.
And then add in how loaded that team is in the first season. That's kind of what made me jump him up so high.
That's understandable. I mean, that was my biggest reasoning for why I feel like he's definitely up there as far as like the user realm is concerned. Because of course you have guys like you have that team with as much talent as it has on it. It's hard to see them not doing well season one, especially with Chan at the helm. So it'll be really interesting to see exactly how he does with that team, as opposed to like the battered team he had to deal with in 18 when he came in. So
yeah.
Be a really interesting dynamic.
Emmons, thoughts?
Sorry if this is I'm just playing this game. I'm sorry if I'm kind of dry right now.
It's okay.
Who were we talking about? I'll throw my 2 cents in. I apologize. Wow, now my tendon has lost he has broke his thumb. So that's 2 injuries now that I've faced already. This is fun. Who are we talking about?
Chan at 9.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Rams roster is the Rams roster, right?
Yeah.
And then Chan's, he didn't really get to play too much in here because he joined pretty much late in the cycle. But I know in all the other leagues I've been in with him, I know he's been to the conference championships for sure. I don't think he's been to a Super Bowl, but he's definitely not a slouch when it comes to playing games and competing with big users. So I think he's going to do just fine with that Rams team. Potentially, I think I have him winning the division. So I'm just excited to see like what everybody can do now with this new Madden and kind of move forward from there.
Yeah.
Where did he end up in the power rankings?
What's that?
Where did Chan end up?
I think he's in 9, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at 9.
Dude, the ball carrier moves are so disgusting. Michael just blew me up in the backfield, but I just juked with carry on, got past him, juked another guy, and went into the end zone. Ooh, look at Stafford getting in on the celebrations. He's dancing with the lad.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry for any other audience for this pod being if it's a little dry. I think we're all in a Madden game right now, so.
Yeah.
I can hear you in the party chat as well as.
Oh, is my headset muted? Oh, my headset. You shouldn't hear me in the party chat. My headset's muted.
Oh, yeah, I might be hearing someone else. It's synced up really well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a. No, I think So Chan is Chan definitely has it, especially with a really good roster up front. So,
right.
Yeah, I think the NFC West is his division this season.
I agree. I think Stuff's a good user, but that Cardinals roster isn't too pretty, so I think he's gonna struggle a little bit year one.
Yeah. Shank's a good user, but he's gonna have his work cut out for him with the Seahawks. And then Robert, I've never played him that I can recall. And the Niners team is good, but it's still just more of a project than that Rams team is.
Right. Hit there, Jamal. Good pass breakup.
Okay, so on to what, 10?
On to 10.
I missed what was said about me.
Which is our main man, LJ here.
Nice. Best AMLoB team of Madden 18 by far.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar thing to what I was saying about Cripps was I think LJ is the only person that kind of rivals in terms of divisional wins. Like I think Cripps has 9 career division titles and LJ has 8, so this is the cycle to rule them all since they're sharing it.
Right.
But just kind of like I said, past experience, he had a Madden 17 Super Bowl appearance. He had, 4 appearances or 3 appearances?
3 appearances.
3 appearances and 3 wins in 18. This, kind of like you all were saying about me, is it's very much a user pick and ability to build a team. Because from what I've looked at on the Panthers roster and everything that you've said, it's going to be a rebuild project for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Especially with I don't know. I feel like LJ's going to be able to, if anybody's going to be able to build that team, it's going to be LJ, though.
Oh, yeah. It just always is kind of a big advantage to have I'll say like a hometown boy, but I just be a fan of the team.
That's what I like a lot about the league this year, though, is how many guys we got with their favorite teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there should be some really quality team building. I feel like we do a good thing here, plus a really competitive league. I don't know. I think it'll be really good, and I'm.
Yeah.
This is the playoffs, but.
I mean, this Panthers team is going to be rough these first few seasons. Probably going to struggle a bit.
I cannot promise if I get a Langham that I can send him to you again.
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me with this team, but we'll see what happens. So, yeah, that's the top 10. I mean, other than that, I mean, that's all we really got as far as I know. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out with so many guys, being fans of these teams, and with so many guys being fans of these teams, on top of the fact that we'll have with all the rule changes and just how Madden is, how the gameplay is different,
right,
in years past. How well people will translate,
exactly. We're gonna have a short pod tonight.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
much content on us, my computer's getting pretty low.
I'm scared to say we don't really have much content today, but I mean, we'll get back into it.
I feel like we all weren't playing games, be able to do like season predictions and stuff, but
yeah. But I mean, we'll get into that more next week on the pod. So yeah.
Yeah, the Dev League should be starting soon.
Dev League should be starting Wednesday. We're working on that now. As far as getting that to work.
Yeah, that's gonna be another fun little league we'll have going on. Once we get everything set with relegation and stuff, and bringing some people up and all that good stuff.
Jesus, this is so bad. Okay, but y'all aren't watching this game. I can't. I'm struggling right now.
I'm playing my game, and Luke Wilson just watched the ball with his hands and threw away and dropped it. Buddy, I understand.
But yeah, so I mean, that's all we really got for this week. Of course, I'll probably do a write-up of this stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll figure that stuff out. But
yeah, there's not much to go off right now other than good luck to everybody's season. Excited to get this.
I'm hoping we get like 20 seasons in.
Oh man, I don't know if I could handle that.
Can you imagine?
That would be a very interesting way to go about it, is if we had 20 seasons. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll be back next week. Hopefully with a lot more content, especially because we'll start implementing Dev League stuff into the pod. So
yeah, be able to do some top 10s for the Dev League.
So yeah, we appreciate y'all watching. Get y'all next time.